Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer, and today we are taking a look at Penguish. Penguish is a 32-bit Trojan, which we're going to be reviewing in a couple minutes, but before we do, let's take a look at this on VirusTotal. So we've got 30 out of 72 detections, and if we take a look over here, this was first submitted just a couple hours ago. Again, I don't ever pay any attention to creation or signature dates and times, because those can easily be falsified. So if we go along with this date, that having 30 detections already is a pretty big L. But with that being said, let's take a look at who does detect it. So we've got Avast, AVG, Bitdefender, BCAF Pro. What other big names have we got? We got Kaspersky, GData, ESET. I do see MZSoft. Malwarebytes, Microsoft, good. Microsoft's usually been doing really good with these rats. I'm very happy to see that. But I'm not seeing any other big names. I don't even see Symantec. Yeah, Symantec doesn't have a signature for it yet. Huh. If we go down to who doesn't detect it, let's look for some big names down here. So Avira does not. ClamAV does not. CrowdStrike does not. Google has not detected it yet. McAfee does not detect it. And if I look for Symantec, yeah, they don't have a signature. Neither does Sophos, which is weird because Sophos is usually on top of these things. I will definitely send them a sample of this malware after the video has ended. Anything else? I don't think so. Of course, Webroot does not detect it either, as we love to pick on Webroot on this channel. If we go to details, we can see that the MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-256 are here. You don't have to type this if you want to follow along, because I will actually post these in the comment section of the video below. Here is your history. If you want to follow creation time and signature date, you can, but I always go with first submission. And here are the names that have been associated with this file. If we go to relations, we can see that there are no contacted IPs on VirusTotal yet, so we're going to have to figure that out on our own. And we have 32 bundled files. However, all of these bundled files either have no signatures or no detections. And if we go to drop files, we do have one here which looks like a random name and has 44 detections. So we take a look over here. This was last analyzed 27 minutes ago, and it looks like a different variant of an info stealer, which is fine. And if we go to behavior, again, I don't spend much time on behavior on this channel, but I will go ahead and pull it up for your viewing pleasure. We can see that we have no crowdsource Sigma rules or crowdsource IDS rules, which is extremely interesting. And if we go to community, we can see that the community has jumped on top of this. We've got Cyber Fortress, VX Underground, Nike, AnyRun, Carlos Cabal, Petic, and Jaffa Cakes. We can go ahead and minimize that. And let's take a look at the tools we're going to be using for this video. So we've got Process Hacker. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready by minimizing all of these tasks on the bottom so that we have more viewing space. Wireshark, which I will go ahead and reset the packet capture for. Zooey, and Process Monitor. So there you go. Before we run the malware, last thing we're going to do is look at the properties. So if we go to details, it looks pretty good. Fast copy installer, file version and product version are the same. We do have a copyright 2004 to 2024 for Shiroju. Okay. File size of 5.61 megabytes. Pretty decent. Original file name setup.exe, and language is actually Japanese. So it's the first bit of Japanese malware we've seen on the channel so far. Go to digital signatures. We do have a signature for Fast Copy Lab LLC. But if we click on details, unfortunately, this signature is not valid. Well, I guess fortunately for you, if you are wondering if you've got the right thing or not, but this is not a valid certificate. The digital signature of the object did not verify. And even if it did, it would be expired anyway. It's only for a week, which is interesting. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and pull up Process Hacker, and let's run the malware. Do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Sure, why not? So we click yes, and consent pops up, setup.exe immediately pops up, and we got some stuff going on in the background. And if we take a look over at Wireshark, we should soon see this start going crazy with some different IP connections and stuff like that. And we do have process monitor as well. And we'll be taking a look at the process hacker, obviously, then Wireshark, then process monitor, and then I think I'm going to do Zooey last this time. Compatibility tail runner is running in the background as well. Looks like it opened something in PowerShell and is opening more things in PowerShell, which I'm assuming is contributing to this malware, or is a result of the malware itself. Setup.exe did just close, and now we have the command prompt window running by itself. So, like I say, things that are done in testing and things that are done in production are completely different. And what I mean by that is, it wasn't doing any of this last time when I actually did a test of the malware itself, which is interesting. We had 2 instances of compat tail runner. So what it was actually doing was it had setup.exe running full time. Now we've got other things going on. And I'm very concerned as to why we had 2 explorer.exe windows running. And command prompt did just close. Now, if we look at VirusTotal, we can see that one of the tags is self-delete, but unfortunately, I have not seen it do so, and I think the malware did just finish doing what it was supposed to do. So if we take a look in Wireshark, we immediately see some suspicious connections. So we got a 34, we got a few 34s actually, and we could come take a look at those again, but that's not the ones I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and open this in full screen. And here we go. We've got some resets, but that's fine. That's not the IP I'm looking for either. The one I'm looking for should start with a 7.4 unless the C2 in testing went down and it was replaced with another one. Because that does happen a lot on this channel. We have a lot of weird connections to a 23 IP address. So we'll keep that in mind. Matter of fact, we got an awful lot of them. Yeah, this is... okay. So we definitely would want to make a note of that. If we go over here to the flags, TCP window specified by the receiver is now completely full. Okay. So let's go ahead and copy that IP address. Let's go to copy. I think it's summary as text. Oh no, it's not gonna work. Okay, I'll just have to type it manually, which is fine. Let's open Firefox and bring that over here. And we're just gonna try to connect to it directly first, although I know it's not gonna work. Yeah, invalid URL. URL's invalid. Go figure. And then I'm gonna run it through abuse IPDB. We couldn't find the page you were looking for. I beg your finest pardon? There we go. It was not found in their database. It is an Akamai technology server in Georgia. Okay. The state, not the country. But the 7.4 that I was seeing in earlier testing, I'm not seeing right now. We got some 34s. We got a 184. We got a bunch of connections to a 13, so we could try that. But, now here we go. We do have one report for this, but it looks like this is a Microsoft server. Denial of service attack, acknowledgement scan, port 443. So, assumingly, and this is just one report, and it's an anonymous reporter, so take that as you will, but what they're saying is this was a denial of service attack on an HTTPS port. Kind of strange. 2 probes in 24 hours? I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. So take that as you will. It was found in the database, but only reported one time. Confidence of abuse is 0%. So we won't spend much more time on that. But I am curious as to where the 7.4 IP is. I probably should have wrote that down before I started analyzing this, but that's fine. We've still got a ton of connections to that 2.3. Okay. Well, that's fine, because there are other things that we can take a look at. So if we... Tell you what, I am going to go ahead and do process monitor before anything else. So bring that over here. And we'll know for a fact if it worked or not once I do this. So we're going to do two filters. The first filter is going to be, where is it? Process name is setup.exe. And we're going to do operation is create file. So we'll add that, we'll apply that. Shouldn't take too long. There's only 5.5 million events. And there's actually more events this time than there was in testing, of course. So let's go ahead and put this in full screen because I want to expand the path here. Its prefetch was deleted, unfortunately. And that's fine. And yes, it does seem to have actually worked. So as you can see down here, it is making folders for RSA machine keys. And it's accessing itself again. But there doesn't seem to be much more than that, which is very strange. So we got a fast copy lab, fast copy, and then a random string here, which is interesting in itself. But that is very weird. Okay. That's fine. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the... Yeah, we've done everything else. So let's go ahead and save this packet capture. Well, it looks like it's gathered a little more data. Let's scroll through this really quick and see. I know we're not going to see anything because the malware is not running anymore, but yeah. Go ahead and save this packet capture really quick as 1. And then we're going to run it through Zooey and see if that pulls anything. Oh, look at that! It actually just deleted itself. So something from it must have still been running because, well, it's not there anymore. And I couldn't have just deleted it myself because I had Zooey open. Now if we take a look in Process Monitor, it still says success on a lot of these. It shouldn't be saying that because the file's not even here, but okay. Fair enough, but this looks like it definitely is an info stealer rather than an actual remote access Trojan, and that's simply because, you know, it deleted its host program. Now, we will still restart the computer and see if there's a residual file left behind, or maybe it dropped a file somewhere we're just somehow not seeing, and that's going to run on startup, but I very highly doubt that's the case. And if we go to virus total, I don't believe, yeah, this didn't report persistence. Now, a lot of times it doesn't do that and it's wrong, but still just something to consider. So go ahead and minimize that and lower that. And the packet capture filter is done. So let's query that pool. 605 total rows. Okay. And we should, let's see, these are suricata's, right? Yeah, we can just ignore those. We should immediately, though, start seeing some notices about invalid certificates. But we're not seeing them yet, which is odd. And we can ignore all these alert 3s. These aren't going to tell us much. So we don't have any notices. Oh, here we go. They're down here for some reason. And yep, we've got that for the 13 destination, which we did already confirm was Microsoft. And then we've got one for a 20, which I know is Microsoft because all 20 points are, like, all 20 .IPs are Microsoft. We got a 52, which I do believe we saw on the packet capture as well. And then I think that's a different 20, but it's still Microsoft. We can take a look at the HTTP. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. It's something I had not considered. And we could also IP, I think it works like this, IP ADDR equals 20 dot and then asterisk for a wildcard. Or maybe I have to... No, it doesn't. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. But that's fine. So we'll go ahead and just take a look at HTTP really quick. If I can spell it right. But we do have quite a few. So here we go. So that 23 IP it was communicating with is definitely pulling files of some kind. So we've got to get, we can probably ignore that. I doubt that has anything to do with a malware, but it could. Yeah, it's just crypto API. But we do have something trying to get a file, a cab file off of this IP. adl.windows.com. Okay. And that's about it. We do also have some other things that are bad requests. These are trying to go to the IP itself. Okay. And if we try to go to that, which I believe we already did, I'm fairly certain that that's the, yeah, that's the one we just tried. And it gave a bad request for us as well. Or it said URL's invalid, but, you know, error 400. So that's very interesting. Definitely contacted IP. It should be added to VirusTotal. I'll see if I can't request that. Other than that, I was doing something else. I can't exactly remember what it was. Let me look through these really quick. The thing is, it didn't really drop any files, so I can't look. Yeah, there's no way this has persistence. It did drop something in the temp directory, though. Is it still there? It is. Okay. That's just a regular file, but it's interesting that it did so. So if we open with Notepad, probably going to be, yeah, I didn't think so. I would love to see what's in here, though. Is there anything that's legible? No, this is all just machine readable stuff. We're not going to get anything from this. Okay, fair enough. It's a whole megabyte, though, which is interesting to me. Well, either way, yeah, there's no way that it's actually persistent, though. We'll go ahead and restart and just make sure of that. But I will say with 99.5% certainty that this is just a simple info stealer. The unfortunate thing is we can't really even see what it is filtering out. We've got the RSA keys folder, but other than that, we don't really have anything at all. Let's go ahead and open Process Hacker really quick. Maximize this and make sure to filter through the whole thing. MobSync's fine. Yeah, I've got a feeling with as lightweight as this malware was, if it had any persistence, it would have another file open already. We could, there's one more thing we can do. We can take a look at that file that it supposedly dropped. Oh, it was updating Firefox. I was like, huh? So let's go ahead, let's make it full screen. Let's go to VirusTotal and let's, I'm actually going to have to do history because it did delete itself. I could just grab it from the zip folder again, but I'm too lazy. So we got setup.exe, and if we go to relations, yeah, we have this dropped file. You know what? This is probably the same thing that we've got on our... Doesn't make any sense, though. Yeah, this is an executable, so I don't know what I'm talking about. And just to prove it, I mean, if we go into the temp directory... hang on. I have no idea how to get to temp from here. I'm not familiar with Windows pathing at all. There's OneDrive temp. Tell you what, I am going to do a quick Google search. How to open temp folder. Type. Oh, is that it? Okay. Hey, look at that. Well, what do you know? Hey, there's our file. So let me just go ahead and shove this in there, and I'll prove that there's nothing malicious on it, because this doesn't even have an extension. It's just a file. But we can take a look at that in the meantime. MIDI Steel C, and this particular one was released also today. That's very odd. And if we go to relations, execution parent, what the heck? Okay. Oh yeah, there, setup.exe. Very interesting, and yeah. No security vendors are going to flag it because there's literally nothing near the flag. It's just machine readable code. But that is going to be it for Penguish. Unfortunately, there's not really much more we can look at. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to leave a like. Leave a comment if there's something that I did not do in this video that you want to see for future videos, so I can do that later on. And yeah, just leave a comment for anything else too. I have been trying to figure out what malware samples I want to analyze in the future. We did do a live stream on November 3rd, so when this video is released, it would have been yesterday. But on November 3rd, we did a live stream where we took a look at a rat, a wiper, and adware. And you guys really seemed to like wipers and adware. So if you want to see wiper and adware videos themselves, let me know in the comments. And I might even do a poll. You know what? That's a very good idea. Leave your comments down below anyway, but I'm probably going to do a poll soon to see what you guys would like to see more of. But other than that, I'm going to sign off. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you in the next one.